The Boston Herald has long been known for printing sensational headlines, like this one, which was on their website Thursday. But it went from sensational to awesome 1 hour later with the addition of just one word. Of course, waiting for that one. Of course, they couldn't have done it without the help of Plymouth resident Heidi Erickson, formerly of Beacon Hill. That's because Erickson, known to both concerned neighbors and terrified pets as the cat lady, has a habit of loving animals. And when I say loving animals, viewers are safe to assume that I mean it in the jamming cats into a freezer until you run out of room and the police come to investigate the smell kind of way. A representative from the Plymouth Board of Health said that police removed animals from the apartment but could not comment on the details of the case. He was able to say that all of the animals retrieved from the apartment were, if not healthy, then at least at room temperature. Job seekers in Boston, concerned about the recent decline in local employment, can breathe a little bit easier today. That's because there's at least one business looking for new employees. The prerequisites aren't particularly demanding. Do you have a flexible schedule? Are you interested in new experiences? Do you lack even the remotest sliver of dignity or sense of self-respect? Then you're just the candidate they're looking for. No, I'm not talking about a job at the Wendy's in Central Square, but at Providence's own Foxy Lady. A name that, as most patrons will tell you, is misleading for a variety of reasons. According to the club's management, they plan on hiring upwards of 30 new workers to fill positions as managers, DJs, bartenders, and, of course, exotic dancers. While experience is not required, it can be assumed that ladies applying for dancing jobs should have at least two big assets that men in Boston have come to expect: a consistent air of annoyed disinterest and an unwillingness to establish eye contact. Also, if you have old knife wounds, prominent C-section scars, or plan on bringing your kids because you can't find a sitter, the Foxy Lady in Providence is not for you. The Foxy Lady in Brockton, however, is another story. Would-be criminals in Boston received an important lesson last week. If you're on the run from the police, don't get arrested. This seemingly obvious bit of information escaped 52-year-old Elias Ephraimides, who, after spending the last 21 years evading capture following jumping bail ahead of a narcotics conviction in 1988, was arrested in Virginia after intentionally shining a laser pointer in a police officer's eyes. While some have suggested that it was foolish to antagonize a police officer while hiding from the law, we at BNN feel this is just the kind of behavior that should be expected, especially when it comes from a guy who thought he'd be able to vanish in rural Virginia with an alias like Elias Ephraimides. A note to viewers, it's not an alias if you use your actual name. It's just your name. With school vacation coming up in Boston, many parents are scratching their heads for ways to entertain their children. What can you do with your kids after they've eaten all the Play-Doh and embedded the Wii controller in a neighbor's skull? The answer can be found at the Seaport Convention Center this weekend. Race 'em. That's right. Even though the Bay State is looking at its final year of Greyhound racing, parents and degenerate gamblers alike can head to the American Baby Derby trials. I swear to God. For those concerned about the welfare of the children involved, don't worry. Unlike traditional racing, the losers will not be put down. They will, however, grow increasingly withdrawn, apathetic, and moody. In other words, they will become typical American teens. And those were your top stories.